Hey guys, very welcome here. Today let's talk with Kris Ranger, my best friend and a great dancer, great teacher. So let me just waiting for him to come here. Hey linda, Emanuel Brito, você por aqui, vai acompanhar a live? É bom que tu já acompanha a live, Emanuel, anotando tudo que tiver para anotar. Aí tu já vai e corta. Essa é a melhor ideia de todos, não tem nem que assistir depois. Hey Denise, you good? Today we talk with Kris Ranger. You guys know him? I hope so. So let me know where are you from right now. Tchau. Vai trabalhar, mano, que é melhor. Hey Zaya, you good? Where are you guys? What's the time for you? It's 7 p.m. to me in Brazil. Where is Kris? Let me just message him here. Yay! He is here. Let me invite you, bro. What? Why I cannot invite you? Wait. But I love you from in comment. Go live. Hey, nice people. Where are you guys? What's the time for you? Kris, you just have to accept now. Midnight in Germany. That's nice there. Prague midnight. Kris, you just need to accept, bro, and you'll be here with me. You saw my invitation? So if you have some questions for me or Kris, start to write down. In this moment, I will take notes here and answer your questions, guys. Where is Kris? I don't see anything accept. Let me do it again. I will invite you. This all. Sometimes, Kris, when you come, Gabriela Rodrigues, my best. Sometimes when you come inside to the live, you can see the option or invite. Let me try invite you again. Let's see here. Why you are not showing up here, Kris? Hey, Linda, you good? Saint Jamie. Hey, Jenny. Kris, where? Yeah, there you are. Let me try again. Good. Waiting for Kris. Yeah. Thank you. Hey! There we are. How are you doing? Good?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not listening to you very well. Say again.
Yeah, me either. One sec.
Yeah. Good now. Gabi, me mande o projeto logo aí, me mande a foto linda. Depois eu te mostro, você vai ficar todo orgulhoso. Hey, Kris, are you listening well?
I can barely hear you. Give me a quick second.
No? Okay. How about you guys? Brad Whelan, you here, my friend? Brad, say hi. Brad, you are not allowed to do any questions here. I know your questions. Don't do it. Hey, my friend. What's the time for you now? Probably 8 a.m. Is that? In Australia? I think so. 7 p.m. for me. Hey, Kris, is good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can. It's okay for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, how about you guys? Can you listen to us very well? 8 a.m. Brad. Nice. We did, I don't think you saw that, Kris, but Saturday we did a first Beyond the Triples talk show with Brad, Z, and Sonia, and it was just great. It was just amazing. I am having you in the next one. Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, Linda was there too. So, Kris, yeah, let's start in here. First of all,
Actually, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, take all your time. Guys, if you have some questions for Kris, let me know. And also, let me know, write down to me with pros or no pros, who you want to see here in the live with me next time. Next Wednesday, we have Hugo and Stacy. And I have space for much more. Amanda Montenegro, musicalização. Oi, bebê, tudo bom? Cadê
Sorry
aquele
about that.
comentário? Yeah, welcome, bro. Cadê aquele? Olha aí, Amanda, compartilha isso aí com a tua amiga lá, porque, ó, fala pra Mari que ele tá aqui com a gente, viu, na live. Cadê meu comentário? Where is my comment? Just a second. Yeah. Great. So you good now?
I think I'm good.
Nice. So Kris, first, thank you for accepting that, my friend. Thank you for being here. I miss you in Brazil. You had such a great time here. How many times have you been here?
What was that?
How many times have you been in Brazil?
I've been to Brazil twice now.
Twice. Oh, give me just a sec. Let me turn off the fan. I think it will be better. So this is your first live on Instagram?
Yeah, actually it is.
Hey, that's cool, bro. So I know everybody knows you. Hello, Midnight in Germany. Hey, guys. Right. So I know everybody knows you, but I don't think they know your story. So I do think the stories are very inspiring. It's the best way to inspiring people and make them grow. So let us know a little bit about you. So first, about your past. What have you done until arrive until you are right now, and exactly where are you right now? What's your life situation? So let us know.
Just everything from the beginning to now.
Yeah. So why did you start to dance? How did you find West Coast swing? How do you became a pro and all the stuff that make people think, yeah, that's a good idea. I can do that.
Okay. So I started dance back when I was about 18 or 19. I did theater in high school, so I did a lot of acting and stuff. And when my senior year, the person who choreographed our musical, which was West Side Story, he owned a ballroom studio, and he would do an East Coast swing every Saturday night that he started inviting us to. And so I went to that, and I was like instantly hooked. I never really done much dancing back then. I sort of like kind of taught myself how to do hip hop, but you wouldn't even really call it that. So East Coast was my first dive into dancing, and I absolutely loved the energy. I loved all the people I met. I met so many friends. It was like my first time consistently being out past midnight. I had a blast. And then over the course of about a year.
Just a sec, bro. Yeah, your audio is not that good. How are you listen, guys? It's good for you. I don't know. It's a little like a robot. Can you say something?
Sorry?
Do you have some headsets or something like that?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, maybe it'll be better. Don't worry. Take your time. Yeah. So guys, remember, if you have some questions for him, yeah, let me know. And suggestions for people who you guys want to watching here on the live with me. I told you next Wednesday I have Hugh and Stacey. I already have Brad Whelan. I have Sonia, Miles and Tessa, Stephen White, Emmeline and Jakub. And yeah, I think that was that. Then Kris. Yeah, it was just great so far. And if you haven't, let me show you that. Let's see. Yeah. So next Saturday we have the Beyond the Triples live intensive. So it will be 2 hours just with me. I have 2 scheduled times, so everybody can join it. Is 9 a.m. Brazilian time and 7 p.m. Brazilian time. So wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to do it. And also you guys decide how much you pay. So you can pay the full price. You can give yourself 15% or you can give yourself 100%. I just want to make sure you'll be able to do it. Good? So please, if you like that, so click on the heart or click on the airplane so that more people know about that. Share that with your friends. If you know someone you like this conversation, or would like the intensive, or would like joining our WhatsApp group, we have more than 200 people right now. We have more than 30 countries, and it's just so much fun. I love to put the content and talk with people there all the time. So yeah, please do it, and let's make this community grow together. My cities just came in quarantine time, so we basically not allowed to go out anymore. I don't know. How about your situation, guys? Where are you right now? Are you in quarantine? Can you go everywhere? How is the coronavirus for you? It's too bad. It's okay. So let me know. It's good for me personally, guys. How Kris work for his beautiful lines, shapes, and dance. He will be so happy to listen that, Gabi. Sei que tá escrito certo. E o áudio dele já tá bom. O áudio dele já tava bom? iPorts work well, Kris. Thank you, Brad. Aqui tá igual, galera. Tá igual como assim, galera? O que você quer dizer com Germany contact restricts only? Yeah, same here. Like I was at the supermarket. Hey, Pimentel. I was at the supermarket and we just can go inside one person per family, and we have to use masks all the time. So yeah, I mean, it will be good soon. It's just time. I hope we will be back to dance events this year. I hope we can do social dance really soon. And until there, we'll find you with Eddie here. Hey, welcome. So guys, let me know you for how long have you been dance West Coast Swing? Hey, Peixotinho. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Gabriela, when did your first West Coast Swing class, and who was your amazing teacher? So yeah, we love same massive everywhere. I hope our this classes can restart soon. Yeah. Yeah. Say again. 21 years. So Brett has been in West Coast Swing for 21 years. That's true, Brett? It's really true? How long have you been in West Coast Swing, Kris?
Yeah, a second. Let me hop off really quick. Try and invite.
Sorry, say again.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off really quick. Try and invite.
No. I think it's worse. Kris, we lost you. Let me invite him. 13 anos, Gabi, já? Sério? Mentira. West Coast Swing, não. 5 years, West Coast Swing 7, yeah. Let me invite Kris again. Yeah, he is back. Let me listen to you.
All right, can you hear me better now?
I think so. How about you guys? What do you think? It's good? Could say something more, Kris?
For some reason, the sound's not.
No. So, achei que era só nós. No, it was not good. Are you using some? What do you do differently? Let's see. Say again.
For some reason, it doesn't want to.
No, I think before was better. So, what were you doing before?
Nothing special.
Are you using headsets right now? No.
How's this sound?
Yeah, Gabrielle say just do what were you doing before? Before was better.
I just had it sitting.
Yeah, so before was better. Let's see. Yeah, way better before. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi. I don't know. The headset work it, I think. Yeah. Are you guys missing him too? How is his Wi-Fi? Vitello, welcome here. How is the Wi-Fi? Kris, can you hear me? No, we miss Kris again. Let's invite. He'll be back soon. He's frozen. Yeah, he's frozen now. I miss him. How was Rachel, Brad? How are you guys doing? It's good. We need to do more talk shows. I will ask more hard questions for you guys. It was so scary though. Yeah, I think maybe his audio is bad because the Wi-Fi is not good. Yeah, I was missing you. Let's see how is that now.
All right, how's this sound?
It's good.
Much
Done.
better?
Yeah, we fight it. Rachel is great.
All right, well, what were we talking about?
Yeah, so let's get back. So tell to us your story. How did you came for West Coast Swing?
Okay, so my story about how I came to West Coast Swing. So I did a lot of theater stuff in high school. So I acted, I was in plays, I was in musicals. And
Wait.
My senior year, when I was...
Do you remember when you were in Brazil?
Oh yeah, when was I in Brazil?
No. I just want to tell you one thing. Yeah, because my girlfriend just come down in the conversation, and do you remember has one of her friend was just, oh, that guy, it's amazing. Remember that? So I just say invite her, and she did it. So she's here right now.
Hello.
Okay, so yeah, Marina, say hi, Marina.
Hi.
So come on, tell me. Sorry for that.
All right, so yeah, so doing theater in high school, and then my senior year in high school, I our choreographer for the for our musical, which was West Side Story, which I was in, which I was awesome in. He owned a ballroom studio. Every Saturday night, he would have a East Coast swing night, and so that's how I got my start in swing. Because I went to the East Coast swing night and I fell in love with it. I loved the energy. I loved the people, and it was an all around fantastic time. After about a year of that, I met some people who turned me on to West Coast swing, and about 2007, I went to an event in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I took a private lesson with the great Jessica Cox, and I was hooked instantly, and that was West Coast was pretty much the only thing I thought about.
Of course, it was Jessica Cox.
After that, and so that was in 2007, so that was about 13 years ago. In 2011, I started dancing classic with my first professional partner, Rebecca Ludwig. I had 5 or 6, I think 5 fantastic years with her, put on some great routines, learned a lot, got amazing experience, went across the world. The first time I taught internationally was in Moscow, was in 2014, I believe.
Right.
And then I went to London the year after that, and got some great experience. Then I went to Australia, and so I loved it. And Rebecca and my partnership ended in 2016. And then a couple years after that, I started dancing with my most recent partner, Toro, who I put a couple of routines on the floor, and I've absolutely loved it. That's when you and Jessica brought me up to Korea, and I had a fantastic time there.
Yeah, amazing.
And then the next year came down to Brazil for the Brazilian Open for the last 2 years, and have been having a fantastic time with that. And so that's where I am.
That's amazing, bro. And one of the things that are very interesting about you, because you active at so high level, but you never were 100% focused on West Coast swing, like as a professional, right? And you talked about that at the Brazilian Open, I think 2 years ago, was that? When we are sit down, when you're saying your story for everybody, and everybody was so impressive because like one of my best friends, he was here and he would say, oh, this guy has amazing lines, and you are famous for having amazing lines and a great technique. And I love to listen about that. So how was it possible to you active at so high level without never being 100% focused on that, because basically everybody who goes to dance teacher, who become a pro or become a champion, they do that for life. They just focus on that. And there are some people like you, Matthew Claire, that I really admire, that still have a side job, or maybe I don't know really what is the side job and what is the real, or if both are equal on your life. So yeah, talk to me about that, please.
So, first off, I would definitely say that West Coast Swing is actually more my side job. Not necessarily a side job because it is kind of a full-time job. It's just more so my evening and weekend job. What I do full-time, my main job, is I'm a middle school English teacher. So I teach 8th grade literature, reading, and writing. Um, and so it wasn't easy basically having two full-time jobs and, traveling for a couple of years there. I would basically work Monday to Friday, and then I would, after work on Friday, get on a plane, fly somewhere to do dance, come
Yeah,
back Sunday night,
and
back to work Monday morning.
I do remember. So when you come to Brazilian Open and after the event, everybody comes to a beach. So everybody was having fun and you were working and working and working because you want to be here, but you have to still working, right?
Exactly, yeah. And luckily, about 5 years ago, I got a job that I could teach online, so I could teach remotely. So that helped me travel. But as far as like advancing through the ranks while I was having a full-time job, it wasn't easy. I basically only worked and did dance. So because I didn't just 100% do dance, I had to put a lot more effort into the time I did have. So it became much more about working smarter, being very aware of the time I had to practice, and putting a lot of intense focus into the time I had, because I knew I didn't have a lot of time available to me. It's one of the things that Rebecca and I, my first partner, used to talk about a lot, because she lived in Chicago and I lived in Kansas City, which are at most, we would meet in the middle about, 5 hours from each other. And we only saw each other on those weekends. So we knew, since that was the only time we were going to see each other, we had to put we had to put 150% into each of our practices, because that's all we had was, maybe 10 hours on a weekend or two a month. So became much more about being strategic with my practice time, not just putting the time in, but putting the effort into the time. Um, and that's what I really had to strike, that balance. And I had to put myself into a mindset of, when I'm at work, I focus on work. I don't let myself get distracted by dance. However much I want to dance, I need to put my mind into what I'm doing. Then when I go and do dance, I flip the switch and dance is all I think about. So it was very much about finding each mindset that I had to put myself in order to put the effort needed for me to do good at either of those things.
Nice. Yeah, that's all amazing and very interesting. I love to hear more about that, because I was with Simeon and Maria, so they were the last one before you, and they are talking about how they training, how they practice to become one of the most famous couples right now. And people was very like, oh, that was amazing. I love to learn things like that. And but before, like, Pedro is here on the live. It is my first live. He has come in. It's just because you are here. So Pedro, I hate you. I know you are here just for Kris. So yeah, so go out now. So yeah, when you talk about practice smartly, what do you mean with it? What was your strategy? How, because right now that's what people really needed, right? Because almost of all of them, they have no partners to practice. They are locked down, so they have to think and make a map plan very effectively to improve on this time. So what do you did at the time, and what you suggest them to do it right now?
So that's actually great, because that's how I actually spent the first, I don't know, 5, 6 years of my dance career without a partner, because the first 4 years of my dance career, I was in college where there were no other West Coast swing dancers. So I only had myself to practice with, more or less, for 4 years. Um, and I think the big thing, especially since I was just starting out, is having to become very analytical about your own dancing. And what I mean by that is being able to look at your videos and judge yourself in a sense, but it's more than just pointing out what you're doing wrong. You can't just look at a video of yourself or record yourself dancing and be like, okay, that looks wrong, I'm off time, or that's a weird hand. Um, you have to think about why these things are happening. So, okay, I'm off time, but why am I off time? Going to the root of these problems and figuring that out. So that's kind of step number one um, in this kind of situation is being able to look at your dancing, film yourself dancing, even if it's just dancing by yourself, because you're gonna dance by yourself almost like you dance with a partner anyway. But so, um, by being able to look at yourself and say and figure out why you're doing these things, and yeah, you may not have the knowledge to necessarily know exactly what's going on, but I mean, I didn't have the knowledge in my first couple of years. I'm like, I think this is what's wrong, and it's about trial and error. So, okay, that didn't work. Maybe I'll try it this way, and just kind of keep experimenting, keep trying different things here or there. Eventually you're gonna hit the mark at least a little bit, um, and just kind of finding creative ways. One of the things I worked on a lot, and I was actually very proud that I became known for this, was my connection. And so I tried a lot of different experiments, like dancing with a bedpost, dancing with a doorknob, dancing with my fridge, um, and thinking to myself, okay, what am I looking for? What's the result I want to have happen? And then trying it several different ways to see what creates that result.
That's so nice, bro. That's great, and yeah, it's so amazing you talk about that right now, because you told that like you improve yourself, practice by yourself, and right now everybody's in this situation, and about knowledge, about information, they can find information everywhere. I mean, I am doing so much free information. Like they can find information for free. They can find information, pay little. They can pay a lot for the information. So it's not that hard. I also start to learn from DVDs and things like that. So I kind of understand how self teach you and how we should do to improve. And I do think this is what we miss in this community, is really people understand how they should practice to involve them. And that's what I have been working. I created a WhatsApp group to work with them. So every single day I send some content, because I do think I don't know if you feel like that, but when I started, I had so much information. It was just too hard to understand which way to go walk. Because someone come to me and say, Diego, you need more footworks. And someone comes to me and say, Diego, stop your feet. And someone come to me and use your head to create connection. So they would want use your body to create connection. And this is just like fat information. Like I call like that. So you should be good, but it's not, because it's just too much and makes you so confused. So because you were practicing by yourself, how did you were able to filter all this information and understand right now I should focus on that, right now I should focus on that? You always have very clear in your mind what kind of dancer do you want to be, and you work in this direction, or you have some confused time?
So the best way to, I mean, for one thing, this is going to sound like easier said than done, but you have to pick one thing. So yeah, there's a ton of information going into your mind, and that can easily overload you and really make, especially if you're watching yourself dance, you're like, oh, this is wrong, or this is wrong, or this is wrong. When you practice, you have to pick one thing. It doesn't matter what it is, but if you try and work on multiple things simultaneously, um, they're never going to 100% work the way you need them to, because you're trying to, it's like working out. If you want to bulk up your arms and bulk up your legs and bulk up your back, but you can't work out each of those muscles simultaneously. You're going to hurt yourself, right? Um, and so dance skills are the same way. You can't practice your musicality and your settling and your connection necessarily. I mean, you sort of can, but when you actually practice, you have to pick one to focus on. You want to do all of those things, but you
Right.
need to focus on one, and you have to allow yourself the ability to do the other stuff bad. And that's the thing that's the bridge I think people have a hard time getting across, is being like, okay, my connection feels better, but now my footwork's off or something like that. And you have to be able to tell yourself that that's okay. Your connection, if your connection's what you're working on, that's what you need to, if it feels better, then you're good. Let everything else fall apart for now because you're not working on that stuff. People always talk about how when they're trying to work on technical stuff, their musicality falls apart. Well, yeah, that makes total sense because those are two very different aspects of the dance. And so if you're working on musicality, yeah, your technique's going to fall apart a little bit, and you need to be okay with that, right? If musicality is what you're focusing on. So you can't, in the teaching world, again, since I'm a teacher, we talk about this not overloading our students. So if we give our students too much information, they're not going to learn any of it, or at least not to the degree we'll want them to learn. So we have to pick one single thing to focus on and be like, okay, this is what we're doing right now. And so when you, not to say, I've done private lessons where my teacher has given me a laundry list of things to do. Like that lesson I did with Jessica Cox, she literally covered an entire sheet of paper and then flipped it over and wrote more for me. And so it's easy to take that and be like, okay, I'm going to work on all this stuff, but you have to pick and choose. And like I said, you have to figure out, okay, where can my focus be during this particular practice, right? And I've done that with practice sessions with people before, and I've asked right before we dance, I'm like, okay, what are you going to work on? And they'll name like 4 things. I'm like, that's too many. At most 2 things that are roughly similarly related, right? So that's the big thing, is really just create tunnel vision with whatever you want to work on.
That's so rich content. Bye, Brad. So Brad have to leave. So hey, say bye to Brad. Go take Rachel. It was great to see you here, my friend. Yeah, I want to have another live with you pretty soon. So Kris, yeah, that's just amazing content. How you talk about practice, and you have always been so humble about learning from others and applying your dance. And because people right now, they maybe are alone and maybe have to practice alone, but all this corona shit goes away soon and people will start to practice together again. And you have a couple of different partners, so you have to practice with some different girls, and all they are amazing. So can you give us some tips about how was different to practice with each one of your partners, and how you have to adapt yourself and adapt your training to work well with them?
So every person is a completely different individual. You'll never dance with, you'll never partner with, and you'll never even dance with someone who is completely like somebody else. So just like in any sort of partner dancing approach, you have to be able to adapt to what the other person needs, what the other person does, and so on and so forth, and also kind of hope that they're doing the same for you. And this is more than just the way you dance with them. You also have to adjust how you address them, how you talk to them, how you ask them questions. You know, words are very important, and words can be very soothing, and words can be very harsh without even intending them to be. So a lot of it is just literally learning the other person, especially if it's someone you have to constantly practice, not have to, but you're constantly practicing with. You have to learn them. You have to learn their signs, the things that make them comfortable, things that frustrate them, things that give them more confidence, or things that make them kind of shy away. So just learning them and understanding who they are as a person makes any sort of practice session much more beneficial. While at the same time, you also have to respect how you practice best. So it's a meet in the middle situation. Yeah. It's not you are completely adjusting for your partner, or your partner has to completely adjust to you. You have to find a unison. It's almost like you're creating a different person out of 2. Like this person likes this person likes this, and you create a third person out of your partnership.
That's amazing. Have you heard the book Five Languages of Love?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have seen this book, so please do it. As to me, so far was the best book about relationship. And as you see, as I see, like dancer is much more than technical stuff. It's a lot of emotional, it's a social thing. So we have to develop all those skills. And this book talk exactly about that because there is five different languages of love. So some people appreciate more physical contact. Some people is more about compliments. Others are about presence. Others are about quality of time. And others are about help. So people love people who help them, and they love show love about helping people. So if they say almost all the couples in the world, they have different languages of love. So they have to learn how to speak the other one's language to make sure they will feel loved. It's like if my girlfriend shows love with presents, give me presents, presents, and presents, but that's not my language of love, I would think, oh, that's just presents. But it's not for her. For her, it's like, that's how I show how I appreciate you. And if the way that I show love is time of quality, I want to be together. But for her, it's like, we don't have to be together all the time. I mean, we don't need that. That's not love. So we not work well. So it's the same way in the dance floor. Some people, they it's exactly like you said, we cannot lose ourselves. So that's the way that I always say that same thing for Jessica. So you will dance the way you like to dance. I will dance the way I like to dance, and we will make it work together. So I don't want her change for me because, I mean, as a leader, I don't care about her footwork, about her body movement, about her head movement. It's all about her. And it's the same thing for me, right? So we should really learn how to be ourselves and be confident out there. Because I have, even myself, I'm a very self-confident guy, but I have problems with the dance floor. When I let someone makes me feel not good enough because they said, Diego, don't do that, Diego, do that. And I listen them and I start to feel myself going away. And in the same way, I have to inspire the dancers who are with me to be themselves and make it works. And you did just an amazing job, not just with your routine partners, also in your Jack and Jills and Strictly's, because I remember probably the first time I remember you was at that swing Diego, and you beat me twice on Jack and Jill and Strictly, right? So you did an amazing job with, I think it was Emmeline and Janelle. Was that? No. No, it
It
was not
was
Janelle.
Emmeline for Strictly, and it was Chevy Slater for Jack and Jill.
Chevy, exactly. So you did just you kill it in this weekend because you are able to show your best and make it was able to make her show her best. And I think that's the greatest thing. When we talk about you as a dancer, because everybody asks that all the time. So what should I develop myself? What should not? So when you were in your progress training and make your map plan, so what you decided, so this is the kind of dancer that I want to be. So what was like, okay, I want to be great in connection or musicality or line. So what kind of dancer you visualize it and have you achieved it?
So what made me kind of decide what I really wanted to be known for, what I really wanted to kind of work towards. A lot of that came just from dancers that I was very inspired by. Um,
Okay.
for the longest time, people, one of the most common things people talked about was my lines, my leg lines and how well I could point my toe and whatnot. And that actually came from um, my admiration of a dancer named Jason Colosino. For those of you who may not have been dancing for too long, Jason Colosino was an amazing dancer who unfortunately is no
He
longer
was
with
he
us.
was my first teacher, right? Yeah.
Yes, I remember you telling me that. But if you've never watched him dance before, go look him up on YouTube. As soon as this interview is done, you won't
Yeah.
regret it. But he had amazing lines and just very clean, incredible leg lines. And I was very inspired by that. So I decided that's something that I find really attractive in the dance. So that's something I'm going to work very hard on to reflect in my own dancing. So a lot of it came from that because a lot of people called me as I was coming up a Jordan clone because I was a huge fan of Jordan Frisbee. I mean, who wasn't? Who isn't? But so a lot of my early dancing looks very much like novice and intermediate Jordan. So it's not necessarily about being a clone of your favorite dancer or whatnot, but it's taking those aspects of that dancer and trying to apply it to yourself. Maybe a little bit from Jordan, a little bit
Totally.
from Kyle, a little bit from Jason Colosino, and just picking, okay, what about this dancer do I like? Yes, this dancer is smooth and whatnot, but what makes this dancer smooth? What makes this dancer fearless? Like, what are they doing that makes me attracted to them? Kind of just like I was saying about practicing. Like, you have to think to yourself, okay, what am I doing that I don't like? And so when you look for that inspiration of what you want your dancing to transform into, you watch those dancers that you love and you ask yourself, okay, what are they doing that make me love them? And then that's the kind of stuff that you want to incorporate and that you want to I focused on to really give myself what I considered a fairly unique flavor to my West Coast swing.
Yeah, that's
And then a
great.
big thing, and a big thing with this that really made it a huge impact. And again, this is another one of those sounds easier said than done kind of things. But I really stopped focusing on how I did in my competitions. Um, I was always happy when I did well, but when I didn't do well, if I was like middle of the pack or even if I was close to the end, I did my best not to let it rub me the wrong way. I literally, as soon as I was done competing, I put it out of my head. I mean, unless it was an amazing dance and then I rode that euphoria as long as I could. But for the most part, as soon as I was done with the competition, I moved on. Um, and what I noticed is before I knew it, I had the best 2, 3 years of competition in my life without even realizing it. I had a friend tell me that, like, ask me how long I'd been dancing like champions or how long I'd been doing this, and I said something, and at that moment I realized I had gone 2 straight years making every single champions Jack and Jill final. I made Swin Diego, I made Mad Jam, I made all the big champions Jack and Jill finals without even realizing it, and it's because I was focusing on me. I just focused on the work I was putting into it and really didn't care as much about the competition side of things.
Yeah, so let me know one thing. When you start to dance, when you start to do class, you decide very early that you want to be a pro, that you want to be a champion, or it just happens?
Sorry, can you say that a little bit louder?
Yeah, yeah, like when you start to practice, when you find West Coast swing, you decided, okay, I want to be a champion, I want to be a pro, or no, was you just want to dance and it happens?
So I actually didn't ever think that that was going to happen for me. When I remember like when I first started, I never really had that moment of I'm going to be a champion until
Okay.
I was kind of already there. Um, I was pretty like I remember like watching videos like Jordan and RJ and Kyle when I first started dancing. I'm like, they're too good. I'm never gonna be there. And then again, it was when I stopped focusing on how well I did in my competitions that I saw the most progress in my dancing. And so, like I said, when I finally had the moment of, hey, I'm gonna be a champion, I was kind of already a champion. And
That's nice.
so, I mean, yeah, it wasn't a long-standing goal for me.
That's cool. That's amazing, bro. So, Chris, yeah, it have been all amazing, and we probably have like 10 minutes left. So, I wanna ask you some questions. So, this is the last piece of the interview, and you have to answer me just with one word or one phrase maximum. Ready?
One word or one phrase. Okay.
Good. So, what was your favorite routine from yourself?
What was my favorite what for myself?
Routine.
That I danced or that I watched
You
dance?
dance. You
That
dance.
my favorite routine of that I did.
Yeah, you.
Whew, that's a tricky question. Um, my favorite routine with Toro was the one we just did. Why don't you do right? My favorite routine with Rebecca was someone like you, and then I only did one showcase with Sabrina, and obviously that was my favorite one with her.
Good. So that's cool. Your favorite Jack and Jill or Strickland? You did.
My favorite Jack and Jill
Or Strictly?
that I danced.
Yeah, that you dance.
Um, ooh, that's a tough one.
No.
Man, there's so many. There's so
You know.
many.
I had one
I
in
mean,
my
the most
mind.
memorable one was
Okay.
probably when I drew Marianne Nunez
Yeah, I was
at
thinking about
Phoenix
that
Fourth
one.
of July, um, and then later found out that was her last competitive dance, and so that's probably my most memorable one.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Just because
comes.
I mean it's Marianne Nunez.
Yeah, that comes for the next question. What is your first amazing West Coast swing memory?
My first amazing West Coast swing memory.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was my first necessarily, but this is definitely like my first really big significant one. It was the first time I met Maxence Martin. And I had been watching Maxence on YouTube and was a huge fan of him when he first started. This was years ago. And I messaged him, I found him on Facebook and I sent him a message because he was coming to Chicago Classic. I'm like, I'm going to be at Chicago Classic. I'm going to be able to meet Maxence Martin. And so I messaged him, was like, "Hi, Maxence, I'm a really big fan of yours. I just wanted you to know that I'm really excited to see you at Chicago Classic, and I would love to just to kind of like say hi to you and just fanboying over Maxence." And so I go to Chicago Classic, and I'm at the flyer table, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Maxence, and he gives me
Nice.
a big hug, and I'm like, "This guy is one of my heroes. He's never met me before, and he's treating me like we're good friends." That was probably one of my first big West Coast swing memory.
That's good. That's what I remember one of my friends, Yannick, and of course he knows Maxence, but Maxence he didn't know who he was, and they met with each other on the restroom in the airport, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Maxence in my side. What I'm doing?" Yeah, but that's great, bro. That's a great memory. So after all this Corona shit is over, if you can invite everybody, all the dancers in the world, and say, guys, let's go to this event because it's my favorite event in Earth, and I want to see you all there. Which event it will be?
So my number one favorite event that I will always go to, no matter if I'm able to, would be Grand Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia, over Memorial Day weekend. That is by far my favorite event of all time.
That's cool. That's nice.
So when this
So
is all over, everybody come to Grand Nationals.
come to Grand Nationals. Yeah, Michael and Liam, they are just amazing organizers. They're amazing people. So yeah, I do love this event too. So what is the best quality that I follow have to be, in your opinion?
Can you repeat that?
The best quality, the best skill a follow should have, in your opinion?
Best quality for a follower to have. Ooh. Confidence. I would say
Confidence.
confidence, uh, not confident in a way that you take over too much, but confident in your own abilities, because that's what comes across when you follow, and when a follower feels good to me, it's because they're confident about themselves.
That's cool. That's amazing. So we are talking about follow. So let me know, who is your favorite follow in the world?
My favorite follow, Brandy Guild. Brandy Guild is probably my favorite follower to dance with. Followed closely by Jennifer DeLuca.
Okay. Yeah, they both are just amazing. So differently and so amazing. Yeah. And they have what you told, like they are so confident in different ways. So yeah, that's amazing. I always see that story like was my second swing Diego. And Brandy was doing a Jack and Jill. Oh no, was it Strictly? Was it Strictly? It was 2011 or 2010? I think 2011. And she was dancing with a guy, and he stopped it and he started to turn. So he did like 5 or 6 turns, and Brandy was just stopping like that and look for the audience, and everybody was looking at Brandy, was like, oh my gosh, she is amazing, and she was doing nothing. She was just there, like 100% there. And like, yeah, she is unbelievable. It was just great. So Kris, next one. If you can give one advice for people right now in this moment, what it will be?
One advice for people right now. Look inward. Like, don't worry about what's going on in the world right now. Don't worry about don't worry about stuff that doesn't directly affect you. Turn yourself inward and, do some soul searching. I don't know, figure out yourself. Use this time to learn about yourself, what you need and what you can do.
Good. Your favorite West Coast swing song?
Favorite West Coast swing song?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's another tough one. So many. I would say the song I will probably always dance to no matter what, Soul Serenade.
Snuff.
Soul Serenade. That's probably my favorite one.
Good. So last question for you. You have been traveling a lot and meet so much different people. So what difference did you find in different places?
Sorry, can you say that last part again?
Yeah. What was the difference between West Coast swing dancers around the world?
Oh, difference. What's really cool, I think, about West Coast is every region, every country or whatnot has their own little flavor to West Coast swing. So you kind of learn the culture of the country based on how they dance West Coast. Even in the US, it's the same thing. You go to California, it's different than if you come to Kansas City and dance or if you go to the Northeast and dance. It's really cool because you're kind of learning about that country or that region through the dance.
So what's the difference between California and Kansas City?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
California, you kind of have this almost kind of laid back, chill, very California, sitting on the beach kind of feel to it, very ooey gooey. Here in Kansas City, we've got a lot of like jazz and blues influence, so there's a lot of like a little bit more moments kind of actions where a little bit quick actions and whatnot. Couple of different European countries. Again, very kind of flowy, very kind of go with the wind type movements. I remember Russia was very precise, very exact in their movements. So yeah, I could go on and on.
Yeah, that's cool. Bro, it was amazing. I love to have you here. You bring just so great content. Thank you so much for that. You guys have been watching us, so thank you for being here too. If you like it, so click in the heart, so share it. Before we finish, Kris, where these people can find you if they want to do classes, if they want to have some questions? So how can they find you?
So the best way to find me and like keep track is Facebook is probably the best way to find me on Facebook. Toro and I have a Facebook group, Kris and Toro West Coast Swing. That's really the best way to follow me and get in touch with me.
Yeah, so that's cool, guys. Yeah, this weekend, this Saturday, I have the intensive. Will be my 5th intensive, and I don't know if you know that, Kris, but I'm doing the intensives each 2 weeks, and people just decide how much they want to pay, because like here, I don't know how are the situation around the world, but I know some people are in very bad situation. A lot of people in Brazil have been losing their jobs and they're going crazy. So people can decide pay the full price. They can decide give themselves 50%, or they can decide gift themselves 100% free. So you pay as much as you wanna, guys. It'll be Saturday in 2 different schedule times. Hey Marina, tudo bom? Marina is here to say bye, hi for you again. So yeah, I hope to have you soon in Brazil, my friend. I hope you can make that work, or I hope we can spend time together in US, in Korea. Again, I miss Korea so much. I miss Asia. Like Asia is just amazing. So yeah, thank you guys for following us all the time. Kris, thank you for your time. Bogomila, Sue, good to see you girls here, and we talk soon, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
And don't forget, guys, this live will be safe for 24 hours, so make sure you check it and let your friends know about that. Good? See you, my friend. Take care.